vague and contradictory messages that you were not valued, you were a side chick. People who struggle with self-love often just struggle. Why tarot cards and astrology is destroying your self-esteem. Have you ever turned to tarot and astrology to find answers only to find yourself more confused about who you are? Well, I dove deep. I found a correlation between different forms of divination and healthy self-love, and I had to come on here to share it. If you are new here, hi, my name is Brianna from Self-Love Starts Now, and I want to clarify things when it comes to natural holistic elements in life. I think I was always a natural girly at heart, but after graduating high school over a decade ago now, I found myself struggling with a disease I was diagnosed with when I was born. And I made the decision that I didn't want to rely on doctor reports or medication to determine my health or my future. I became determined to heal my body outside of conventional medicines. Obviously, it wasn't a smooth and perfect process, but those were my intentions. I was vegan for several years, but this process was not just about food. I really started to appreciate things in the earth and universe like I never had before. I started to look at how things were so balanced and incredible in the universe. I got into plants at some point. The idea that herbs or just things in the earth can bring healing to our bodies is just completely mind-blowing to me. And I really want to start by sharing a little bit about myself, because when it comes to astrology, in no way do I take away from the realities and very nature of the infinite design of the universe. But my point is, all of these things were created. For a moment, imagine a dad. This dad loves his children. Every day when he comes home, his children run up to him and greet him, run up to him and give him a hug. This dad wants to give his children a gift. So he goes out to the store and purchases a big TV. Now when he comes home, they are just glued to the TV. They love the gift more than the gift giver. And so when I think about forms of divination like astrology, I just think about a scenario like that dad and the TV. God gifted us with infinite treasures in this world. He gifted them to us because they're beautiful, they're amazing, and they're helpful. But ultimately, because he loves us, it's not for us to abandon him. If you don't know me, my background is in mental health. I help people make better decisions and have healthier relationships through self-love. And one thing I realize about people who struggle with self-love often just struggle with love in general. When we don't grow up in a normal, healthy, loving home with both parents who love one another and love us in a kind and caring way, the foundation of love for us could be broken or incomplete. And with a broken, incomplete understanding of love, it can be harder to realize and embrace healthy love later on in life, including love to yourself. Think about how the foundation of love that your family provided impacted the partners you chose. Think about how the foundation of love your family provided impact the way you viewed yourself growing up. I know a lot of us want to just rush into self-love so that we could build our self-love and self-esteem, but I brought up that stuff about your family and upbringing because self-love is going to come from love. And it's important to start thinking about, what is your relationship with love? What is your history with love? We want to have a solid foundation of love. So now thinking about that foundation of love, let's talk about how certain practices like tarot and astrology disrupt that foundation. So if you don't know, tarot cards and astrology are forms of divination. They are an attempt to give insight to a situation or problem. I will get into the specifics later in this video, but first I want to explain why something that may seem totally harmless is inherently disruptive to your self-love journey. And we're talking about healthy self-love here. When we talk about things of the spirit and things that go beyond human understanding, we have to talk about God. Divination seeks to uncover hidden knowledge or predict the future through supernatural means. This process or practice bypasses God's authority and God's guidance. And God is important in this equation because God is love. He is the ultimate source of love. Once you turn to tarot cards and astrology, you shift your dependence from God to flawed and unreliable tools. Instead of seeking guidance directly from Him, you turn to a medium that is again flawed and unreliable. This misalignment immediately sows seeds of confusion. How can we truly be at peace when we are confused about where our guidance is coming from? It's also important for me to stress confusion creates insecurity. Please really think about this. If you could look back on multiple relationships that you were not valued, that you were a side chick, confusion creates insecurity every time. When we turn to tarot cards and astrology for answers, we are like those children glued to the TV, lost in the gift and forgetting the gift giver. Just like the Father wants a relationship with His children, God desires deeper connection with us, not through mediums or tools, but directly through His love and guidance. The two forms of divination that I'm speaking about here often gives vague and contradictory messages, leading to anxiety and doubt. Instead of going directly to God, it is so easy to become entangled in a cycle of searching for answers in places that will just never provide full fulfillment or guidance. This undermines the foundation of healthy self-love. With healthy self-love comes peace and confidence. But it's hard for you to truly walk in this way with all of these seeds of confusion popping up. Healthy self-love is built on the assurance of your identity and worth as a creation of God. Tarot cards are particularly dangerous because even tarot card readers will themselves say these are only possibilities. So why get onto a mental, emotional roller coaster for answers that are really not answers at all? Self-love involves self-care, and self-care includes knowing when to protect your heart and mind from unnecessary confusion or emotional turmoil. Most people know it is the tarot card reader who gives the card's meaning, not the other way around. You have to trust that reader is tapped into divinity to provide accurate readings and interpretations. And many people even believe that the reader can manifest the cards for the person being read. This is just as dangerous because you are putting some level of trust into a flawed and limited being instead of trusting a unflawed and limitless God. Even when you break down some of the words in divination, it clearly breaks the relationship between us and God, like medium. Medium is Latin for middle. Why have anything between you and God when He can speak with you directly? Or horoscope, that's Greek for hour and watches, meaning something is observing and influencing your destiny based on the hour of your birth. This is not needed when we understand God planned the moment you were formed in your mother's womb, the moment you would be born, and He watches over you every second of every day. He guides us with His perfect will. Or psychic, from the Greek word psyche, meaning soul or mind. It implies assessing supernatural knowledge or power through the soul or mind rather than relying on God's spirit. Now, again, I would not say that the universe has no power. It is clearly great and marvelous and filled with mysteries. But again, it is created. And in my space, I just really see a reoccurring theme of misplaced trust. Seeking guidance from astrology, horoscopes encourages focus on external forces. For example, stars, symbols. This is great misplacement of trust. It's like the dad and TV analogy I gave. This misplacement of trust interrupts the growth of self-awareness and true spiritual discernment. These are essential components of self-love. Misplaced trust is a huge point in destroying self-esteem because healthy self-esteem is rooted in trust. Self-love means prioritizing stability, peace, and confidence in your life. It's about turning to the true source of wisdom and guidance, like God's love and His plan for your life. You don't have to seek out different mediums and tools to get that in between you and God. You could talk to Him directly, and He actually already made a way. He already provided a in between us and Him, and He did that through Yeshua. He did that through Jesus. It's already been done. When you place your faith in Him rather than tools like Terra, you are choosing a foundation of truth, security, and unconditional love, which is essential for cultivating healthy self-love. So ask yourself, are you nurturing your well-being by leaning on temporary tools, uncertain tools? Are you getting comfort from fleeting answers? Or are you building a solid foundation in faith and love? I really hope that this message brought a blessing to you and clarity to you. Let me know what you think down below. If you disagreed with anything, just be kind and respectful, please. If you know that you struggle in self-love, please visit me at Self Love Starts Now. I would love to meet you, and I love you. Bye for now.